Me inventé otro tipo de oración, una más ética, una que me conecte con ustedes de manera más genuina, menos homicida y menos genocida.
Hi everyone and welcome to English 3297 Women of Color Writers in the Americas episode. This episode will cover the theme of Yolanda Arroyo's poetry, Madre, Nuestra, and Dios te salve Yemayá, and its impact on religion and Puerto Rican society. You may be asking yourself, who is Yolanda Arroyo? Well, Yolanda Arroyo was born on October of 1970 in Guaynabo, Puerto Rico, raised in the Barrio Amelia in Cataño's coast. She currently lives in Carolina. She is well known for a researcher, narrator, poet, and a professor. She is a guest lecturer and resident writer in EDP University and has won many awards through her career, especially of her literature in Puerto Rico, which includes Las Negras, Ojos de Luna, and different lesbian-themed books, which are Caparazones, Violeta, Lesbianas en Clave Caribeña, Transcaribeña, Pen Club de Puerto Rico, and she received Writer of the Year in Queer Literature award from the LGBT Community Center of Puerto Rico. She even received an award of the Pen Club of Puerto Rico as a National Short Story Award and the Institute for Puerto Rican Literature National Creative Award for Calle de la Resistencia. This podcast will cover her writings, especially her poems, Madre Nuestra and Dios te salve Yemayá. Yolanda Arroyo's writing, particularly both of these poems, question the role of Catholicism as part of a Puerto Rican society. Arroyo tries to portray in her different themes of patriarchy, feminism, inclusion, freedom, and love for Puerto Rican nation, or as we call it, our patria. These themes are part of Arroyo's writing, exposing different discussions of Afro-identity, inclusion, and especially how she decides to create her own beliefs and her own prayers in a view that is not corrupt or is imposed by Spanish colonization. Arroyo tries to encourage her readers through different religious teachings that you should question, because we're used to having a religion imposed, or as a cultural place you may grow in that part of the world and you have a religion or cultural or different things that are already in your nation. So she tries to encourage the readers to question that and not to just believe in these practices. Writing a poem like a prayer, contrary to the Catholic views of Padre Nuestro, exposes a side of Arroyo where she is creating a prayer to womanhood, and she creating her own prayers opposing the Catholic prayer notion traditionally used in Puerto Rico. She understands that she is genuine and against the genocide that is called by Spaniards throughout history in our patria. This poem also calls the divine feminine Madre Nuestra, contrary to a paternal figure, which suggests a shift in the divine figure according to her feminist values. Also, she using an inclusive language, using las ellas, tu pronombre, las todes, la X, la arroba. She's including the queer part of her literature, which is so important because she emphasizes in different of her works. Arroyo is well known for using inclusive language that acknowledges diverse gender identities, which are contrary to the construct of having binary genders that is very well known in Puerto Rico, since it's a very conservative nation which has built many controversies during time. The other poem is Dios te salve Yemayá, which is the contrary to what many Catholics know as Dios te salve María. The poem reads, Dios te salve Yemayá, llena eres de Ashe, la Balabaguao sea contigo, bendita tus hijas que toman la justicia en sus manos y bendita es el fruto de tu océano río Oshun. Santa Yemayá, Madre de Diosas, consentidora todos los amores de todas las lenguas y enjambres de labios de toda hembra que ama a otra mujer. Ave purísima Yemayá, santificada por criar a nuestras hijas e hijos y enseñarles a devolver el golpe del marido borracho, maltratador, abusador. llena eres de balas y cuchillas prestas para el ajusticiamiento, rueguen por nosotras los orichas, o Batalá, Orula Madre y Padre, los dioses del santo hermafroditismo, el Eguá y los ángeles transexuales, ahora y en la hora de la libertad, de la desobediencia civil, de los defensores, de nuestra entrega por la patria y nuestra bandera borincana. Amén. In this poem, she invokes a maternal deity very well known in the Afro-Caribbean spiritual religion, or as we call it here in Puerto Rico, Santeria, which is Yemayá. While including a language that accepts and validates sexuality, race, love, and love in any way or form, which we know that is something that Arroyo talks about in her writings as a lesbian or as a transsexual person, she acknowledges them in her writings. She opens different possibilities for people that usually do not feel validated in society. So she creates like this kind of umbrella for her writings where she includes everybody and anyone can be whatever they want to be and believe in whatever they want to believe. There are many deities that she mentions in this text which are well known in Santeria traditions in Puerto Rico that came when slaves were brought into the island from Africa, and these traditions maintain a very cultural influence in our society in that time. Explained in an article in Diálogo PR by Adriana de Jesus, she mentions like any other religion, Santeria has levels of progress that grant certain powers to the one who passes them, based on the Ifa circle, which contains all the wisdom of the world subject to interpretation, where women play a characteristical role since being a woman, you domesticate men. Women are the basis of society because they are the ones who are stable despite their lunar and menstrual instability and all of that hormonal stuff that women may have. And I quote. In Dios te salve Yemayá's poem, Arroyo takes a turn by critiquing the traditional Dios te salve Maria that basically prayers the impregnation of Maria and how she was filled with grace. And Arroyo transformed that in a creative way to express belief, not necessarily aligning with a Catholicistic point of view. She breaks that pattern and emphasizes that she cannot believe in the religion of the one who enslaved her people. For Arroyo, her root of culture is the pursuit of freedom and love for our patria. Moreover, she actually critiques the acts of submission, oppression, and abuse that is seen in Puerto Rican woman history. That's why she makes a mention to el marido borracho abusador, that is the man who is drunk and abusive, which has been seen in different of Puerto Rican history and news, and how woman is usually abused. Also, she challenges the notion of men as the unquestionable heads of a family and calls for a reevaluation on patriarchal roles, especially within religious contexts. And Arroyo, in a visit that she made to our class, she said that we decide to believe in God just like we decide to believe in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the mouse, etc. And we don't tend to question those kinds of beliefs that our parents tells us, oh, Santa Claus is going to bring you something, or the Tooth Fairy is going to leave you money. And we don't tend to question that until we're more bigger, we grow up, and we say, well, this is kind of, I don't know, without any explanation. And then, you know, Santa Claus doesn't exist, the Tooth Fairy was your mother, and the mouse never took your tooth, etc. So she exhorts her reader to question these religions and patriarchal structures and the many never-ending questions that any person might develop through time. Arroyo, in this visit to our class, also said that she experienced a time where she felt alone in the world and did not believe in any religion, and she had to find a way to explain the world to herself and to her daughter, because her daughter expressed how she felt hopeless too. So that's why she decides to make her own prayers so she could feel comfort while aligning with her own morals and beliefs and not something that was imposed to her. Arroyo's main focus is to empower marginalized voices, encouraging a critical reassessment of oppressive structures that shape Puerto Rican history. She also takes a stand to call out oppression, take action against abuse, defend our homeland, and to love freely by inviting readers to question and redefine their beliefs. Also, she fosters a path toward freedom, justice, self-affirmation, ultimately asserting the necessity of a belief system that is aligned with one's values and experiences. Furthermore, her poetry becomes a vehicle for both personal and collective transformation that reinforce the enduring quest for liberation and belief of love in any way or form, opening a realm to possibilities to her readers. Well, there you have it. Yolanda's Arroyo's poetry, Madre, Nuestra, Dios te salve, Yemayá, and its impact on religion and Puerto Rican society. Thank you.